people who Awesome. Okay. So the Women Travel Abroad Thailand trip will take place from January 28th until February 5th, 2027. And we are going to be seeing three different cities. So you'll be in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket, with arrivals coming into Bangkok International Airport and then departures from Phuket. So you're arriving and departing to two different cities. Your options being that you can either buy a round trip ticket through Bangkok and then a one-way at the end of the trip from Phuket to Bangkok, or some US cities, especially on the West Coast, like LA and Seattle, do have direct flights to Phuket as well. So there are two options. Your internal flights from Bangkok to Chiang Mai and then Chiang Mai to Phuket are included and will be booked for you. So looking at the itinerary day by day, you will have arrivals to Bangkok, and then we'll have a afternoon guided visit to some of the highlights of the city and the different temples. We are asking that people arrive by about 1 p.m. local time so that you can fully participate in the late afternoon guided visit. And then we're going to have a really special dinner at Supinanga Eating Room, which is one of the only Michelin star sort of Thai street food style restaurants. And we are able, through a local guide, to get reservations there as a group. So we're really excited. That'll be the kickoff to your time in Thailand, which obviously has incredible food. Then day two, January 29th, we will stay in Bangkok and explore the mangroves, where hopefully we'll spot some wild monkeys. We'll also see the railway market and the floating markets, and then have some free time in that afternoon and evening with a group dinner just at the hotel because we have an early flight the following day to Chiang Mai. The 30th, we'll take our internal flight. We'll drop our luggage and then start on our tuk-tuk tour of the old city of Chiang Mai. This gives us a chance to see a lot more without having to exhaust our walking legs, and we'll stop at several historic temples and cultural sites. The 31st will be focused on the Elephant Nature Park and the tea tasting experience in Chiang Mai. And then the first, you'll have a traditional tie-dyeing textile workshop with some female artisans, and then a free afternoon if you want to go shopping, take a nap, hang out by the pool, whatever floats your boat. And then in the evening, we will go eat some street food at the Sunday night markets, which have incredible crafts, good for shopping, but also really good street food. So that will be a tasting tour for dinner. Then February 2nd, we will fly again early in the morning from Chiang Mai to Phuket. And the rest of your day will be at leisure. We're going to be at a beachfront resort. And so you can just hang out, enjoy the beach. There will be an optional included, but you don't have to go if you don't want, tour of Phuket's Old Town, or you can just take a nap in the sun. And then you have a full free day on February 3rd in Phuket, taking advantage of the resort fully. The final full day in Thailand, we'll do our Phi Phi Islands tour, where we get on a speedboat and we go and visit multiple of the islands offshore of Phuket with the chance to snorkel and spend some time on beautiful beaches. And then finally, on the 5th, you'll have your departures all day with your private airport transfers. Looking a little bit more at the highlights, like I said, you'll see all of the main landmarks in Bangkok on a mix of a walking tour as well as we'll use a private van to get through some of it. The mangrove cruise, when I went to Thailand, was actually one of my favorite things. It was just so peaceful, and you're somehow in the middle of the city and yet surrounded entirely by nature. So that was a really spectacular experience. Then the railway market is always incredible because the vendors put everything out and then a train is coming by and they clear everything. So hopefully we'll time our visit right where you can see them both available to shop and then the work that they do to, like, in 3 minutes basically clear all of their stalls, move it, and then put it back. And then finally, the floating market has incredible flowers, fruits, veggies, and is just a really unique sort of farmer's market, but the Thai version. In Chiang Mai, like I said, you'll do all of the history and culture on our tuk-tuk tours. And then the big highlight is going to the Elephant Nature Park, which is one of the best known elephant sanctuaries in Thailand. They have a strict no riding, no interacting, no petting the elephant policy. The elephants really are wild animals, and they treat the sanctuary as a place to help the elephants, which are often coming from farms, from other sort of elephant operations in Thailand and Southeast Asia that are more um, focused on the petting and sort of the human interaction, and they help these elephants rewild. And so there are elephant keepers, but as a tourist, you just get to see the elephants and learn about all of the care that goes into it. It's not like elephant riding or anything like that. And part of visiting goes, the money that we spend there goes to supporting their care of the elephants. And then in the afternoon, we will go do another hands-on experience, which is the tea plantation visit. This is a woman-owned tea plantation in Thailand, and you'll get to learn about how they pick the leaves, how they process them, and then where all of this Thai tea gets shipped all over in the world. And then the following day is our tie-dye workshop. So lots of culture, arts, and hands-on experiences while we're in Chiang Mai. When we're in Phuket, it's all about the beach and the ocean. And so we'll be on a beachfront resort. Like I said, there will be a walk with our guide through Phuket's Old Town, but if you just want to take the day, that's totally optional. And then the big highlight will be our island hopping adventure on the speedboat, where we'll go see the various incredible limestone cliffs that have these jungles straight into the ocean and some secret beaches where we'll get to hang out. So that is the three cities. In each place in Bangkok, we will stay at the Coach Hotel. It's a really nice area that is walkable. So if you get in early or you feel like going to get a coffee or a Thai iced tea, you'll be able to walk safely and explore this neighborhood. In Chiang Mai, again, we're at a really beautiful boutique hotel called Aksara, which is very centrally located to the historic old part of the city. And then finally, at Amora Beach Resort in Phuket. In terms of pricing, the trip is 6,195 USD. It's 8 nights in single occupancy at the boutique hotels, all of your breakfast, most of your dinners, and most of your lunches. The lunch on your free day in Phuket is not included, but everything else is. And then we'll have private drivers throughout, as well as the domestic flights, all of your airport transfers, and two trip hosts from Women Travel Abroad traveling with you, in addition to local guides in each city who will act as your cultural liaisons. What's not included is your international airfare, the visa fees, insurance, and any of the snacks or meals or alcohol outside of the included breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Um, like I said, the flights from the first three cities, so Bangkok to Chiang Mai to Phuket, are included, but you will need to book multi-city international airfare. So you would be landing in Bangkok and departing from Phuket if you want to do a little bit of research about flight costs. The other thing I'll mention is we do have 3 women registered for the trip already, but we have one spot left available with the early bird price. So for the first 4 people that sign up for any 2027 trip, there is a $500 off early bird price. So if you decide you want to take the trip here in the next day or two, you might be able to get the $500 discount for whoever the 4th person who registers is. Um, in terms of weather and FAQs, this is technically the winter time in Thailand, but it's still very warm. You can expect highs in the mid to low 80s, getting down into the 60s at night. Phuket will definitely be even hotter and more humid than that. The nice part of this is it's the dry season, so there's less rain in the parts of Thailand that we're going to in northern Thailand. And then Phuket kind of has 2 seasons. So by going to Phuket That's the dry season for Phuket. And so we'll get warm, sunny weather. There will be humidity, but it's less likelihood of rain. It is a tropical destination, so there's always a chance of rain. The activity level is expecting 2 to 4 miles of walking, often on uneven surfaces, stairs. Thailand, doesn't have the same infrastructure as Europe or the US does, but we will be in a mix of tuk-tuks, private transportation, and walking on our tour days. The beach days will be a more relaxed pace than our city exploration days are. And then right now, there is no visa for US citizens for stays up to 30 days. But if you're not from the US or Canada, there may be a visa requirement. The only other thing that I'll share that's a little unique about this trip is dietary requirements. So Thailand is a place that has a lot of fish stock, fish paste, shrimp paste. Um, and it can be very challenging if you're someone who is very allergic to seafood or shellfish to travel in Southeast Asia. I'm not saying you can't take the trip, but I do think that it's important to do your research and think about it. While we'll do our best to accommodate dietary restrictions and allergies, at the same time, a lot of what Thailand is about is eating street food and trying the local delicacies. And so, if you have a dietary restriction or allergy that prevents you from eating seafood and shellfish, this might not be the best trip for you. There's just a lot of the cooking and eating experiences that you might not be able to participate in fully. So, just something to think about that I like to warn people when we are doing Southeast Asia. So, happy to take any questions.
I have
I
a
have a
question.
question. I
Oh, go
missed maybe the first five
Yeah.
minutes. Is this going to be recorded or are you going to be sending out the
Yep, it
um
is recorded, so I'll send you the recording so you can rewatch the beginning of it. And then all of the information about the trip is also listed on our website, which I'll just put that in the chat as well. And that has like the day-by-day itinerary if you missed anything.
okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
my question is about the food again. You mentioned street food. So if like I have a very sensitive stomach, will there be other options other than street food?
Yeah, so when we are eating street food, we're going to vendors that are 100% safe, right? We're not going to take you to places that we haven't eaten at personally. We have a
Okay.
guide. We're not going to tell you, like, go find your own little sandwich shop or place to get chicken satay. We're going to places that are very extremely high levels of hygiene, very safe for tourists to eat, and are designed through sort of Western health standards. It's just that they're in markets rather than like in a sit down restaurant. Certainly, if you don't feel comfortable eating something, there are plenty of, more sit down or traditional restaurants, especially in Bangkok and Chiang Mai. If you want to opt out of the street food tasting tour in Chiang Mai, for example, and have dinner at the hotel, that's always an option. But that would be something where we will include the street food tasting tour for dinner. And then if you opt out of it, you could just order dinner on your own at the hotel, if that makes sense. But we're definitely very cognizant of the fact that there comes risks when you're eating street food. And so that's why we have a specific guide whose entire job and livelihood is helping take tourists to try different Thai food safely and comfortably.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
What's the max capacity of humans on this trip?
So 10 travelers plus two trip hosts would be the maximum. The minimum to run the trip is four. Like I said, we have three women registered, so pretty sure the trip is going to run at this point. But it'll be end up somewhere between 4 and 10 travelers plus two trip hosts.
Who's the host?
The hosts are not yet decided for 2027, so I don't know that quite yet. But I can share that a little bit later, hopefully by like June of this year. We usually wait on determining hosts until the summer. Any other questions? No? Awesome. Well, if you have more questions, feel free to stick around. Otherwise, for those who haven't come on a WTA trip before, The registration process is on our website. You'll get a link to the registration form as well as to the itinerary in a follow-up email. And this recording as well, in case you want to go back and reference anything. The deposit is $400, and then you are on a payment plan where you can pay in installments each month of $400, with the balance being due 90 days prior to travel. So in October of 2026 is when the balance for this trip is due. And like I said, there is one more spot that is discounted at the early bird price of $500 off, and then after that, it will be at the $6,195 dollar price. So feel free, if you have questions, you're welcome to reach out to me or email me back. Otherwise, I wish everybody a great rest of the night.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.